Chapter I King David was very old. His servants covered him with blankets, but he could not keep warm. So his advisors said, "King David, we will look for a young woman to stay with you and take care of you. She will lie beside you and keep you warm." Then they searched throughout all the land of Israel for a beautiful young woman. In Shunem, they found a young woman named Abishag and brought her to the king. Abishag was very beautiful, served the king, and took care of him, but David had no relations with her. Absalom had died. Now the oldest son of David, who was still alive, was Adonijah, son of David with Haggith. Adonijah was a very handsome man. David had never corrected him, and he greatly desired to be king. Adonijah got chariots and horses and 50 men who went everywhere with him. He spoke with Joab, son of a woman named Zeruiah, and with Abiathar the priest, and they agreed to be on his side. But the priests, Zadok and Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, Nathan the prophet, Shemaiah, and David's bodyguards were not on Adonijah's side. One day, Adonijah offered sheep, bulls, and fattened calves in sacrifice at the Serpent Stone near the spring of Rogel. He invited the other sons of King David and the king's servants who were from Judah, but he did not invite his half-brother Solomon, or Nathan the prophet, nor Benaiah, nor David's bodyguards. Then Nathan went to speak with Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. Nathan asked, "Have you heard that Adonijah, son of Haggith, has made himself king? And King David does not know anything about it? I will give you advice. If you want to save your life and the life of your son Solomon, go immediately to speak with King David and say the following. King David, did you not swear that my son Solomon would be king after you, and that he would sit on your throne? Then how has Adonijah become king? And while you are still speaking with the king, I will come in and confirm your words." So Bathsheba went into the king's bedroom to speak with him. David was very old, and Abishag, the young woman from Shunem, was caring for him. Out of respect, Bathsheba knelt before the king. Then he asked, "What do you want?" "Why?" She said, "My lord, you swore by the name of the Lord your God that my son Solomon would be king after you and sit on your throne. But Adonijah has already made himself king, and you do not know it. He has offered many bulls, sheep, fattened calves in sacrifice, and has invited his brothers, Abiathar the priest, and Joab the commander of the army, to the feast. But he did not invite your son Solomon, my lord. All Israel is waiting for you to tell them who will be king after you. If you do not declare it when you die, I and my son Solomon will be treated as traitors." While Bathsheba was still speaking, Nathan arrived at the palace. They told the king that the prophet Nathan was there. He entered, bowed before the king, and put his face to the ground. Then he said, "My lord king, have you declared that Adonijah will be king after you? Today he has offered many bulls, sheep, and fattened calves in sacrifice. He has invited all your sons, Joab the commander of the army, and Abiathar the priest. Now they are eating and drinking with him and shouting, 'Long live King Adonijah!' But he did not invite me, nor Zadok the priest, nor Benaiah, nor Solomon. Has my lord approved this? And did you not even tell your advisers who will sit on your throne after you?" "Call Bathsheba," said the king. She came back in and stood before him. Then the king said, "I promise by the living God, who delivered me from all afflictions, that today I will fulfill the oath I swore to you in the name of the Lord, the God of Israel, that your son Solomon will be king after me." Bathsheba knelt, put her face to the ground, and said, "May my lord King David live forever." Then David summoned Zadok the priest, Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada. When they entered, David said, "Take with you the servants of my court. Have my son Solomon ride on my own mule, and lead him to the spring of Gihon. There Zadok and Nathan shall anoint him king over Israel. Then blow the trumpet and shout, 'Long live King Solomon!' After that, follow him, and he shall come and sit on my throne. He will be king in my place, for I have chosen him to rule over Israel and Judah. So it shall be, and may the Lord your God confirm it. Just as the Lord God has been with you, may he also be with Solomon, and may he make his kingdom even greater than yours." Then Zadok, Nathan, Benaiah, and the king's bodyguards made Solomon ride on King David, his mule, and took him to the spring of Gihon. Zadok took the flask of oil from the tent of the presence of God and anointed Solomon. Then they blew the trumpet, and the people shouted, Long live King Solomon. Afterward, all the people went up after Solomon, rejoicing greatly, playing flutes, and making so much noise that the ground seemed to shake. Long live King Solomon! Adonijah and all his guests had just finished eating when they heard the noise. Joab heard the sound of the trumpet and asked, "What does this uproar in the city mean?" While he was still speaking, Jonathan, son of Abiathar, the priest, arrived. Adonijah said to him, "Come in. You are a worthy man and must be bringing good news." "On the contrary," Jonathan answered, "King David has made Solomon king." He sent Zadok, Nathan, Benaiah, and his bodyguards with him. They made Solomon ride on King David's mule, and Zadok and Nathan anointed him king at the spring of Gihon. Then they returned to the city rejoicing. And now the people are making a great commotion. That is the noise you hear. Long live King Solomon. Now Solomon is king. And moreover, the servants of the palace have gone to congratulate King David, saying, "May your God make Solomon's name even greater than yours, and may his kingdom be even greater than yours." Then the king bowed in his bed and prayed, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who today has set one of my descendants on my throne and allowed me to see it with my own eyes." Then the guests of Adonijah, afraid, got up and went away, each on his own path. Adonijah, in great fear of Solomon, went to the tent of the presence of God and took hold of the horns of the altar. They told King Solomon that Adonijah was afraid of him and had taken hold of the horns of the altar, saying, "I want King Solomon to swear today that he will not kill me with the sword." Solomon said, "If he proves to be a man of honor, not a single hair of his head will fall. But if evil is found in him, he will die." Then King Solomon ordered Adonijah to be brought. They took him down from the altar, and he came and bowed before the king with his face to the ground. And the king said to him, "Go to your house." Chapter 2. When the day of David's death was approaching, he gave advice to his son Solomon. David said, "The day of my death is coming. Therefore, be courageous, be a man, and do what the Lord your God commands. Obey all his laws and commandments, as they are written in the law of Moses. Thus, you will be successful wherever you go, and in everything you do. If you obey the Lord God, he will fulfill the promise he made to me. He promised me that my descendants would rule Israel, as long as they carefully and faithfully obeyed his commandments, with all their heart and with all their soul. Moreover, you know what Joab, whose mother is Zariah, did to me? He killed the 2 commanders of the army of Israel, that is, Abner, son of Ner, and Amasa, son of Jether. You know how, in time of peace, he killed them to avenge the deaths they had caused in time of war. Joab killed innocent men, and now I am responsible for what he did, and I am suffering the consequences. You know what you must do? Do not let him have a natural death, but be kind to the sons of Barzillai, who is of Gilead, and let them eat at your table, for they were good to me when I was fleeing from your brother Absalom. And do not forget Shimei, son of Jerah, from the city of Bahurim, in the territory of the tribe of Benjamin, that he cursed me harshly, had to endure him. However, when I met him near the Jordan River, I swore in the name of the Lord that I would not have him killed. But you are a wise man, and you must not let him go unpunished. You know what you must do, so that he dies." David died and was buried beside his ancestors in the city of David. He was king of Israel 40 years, ruled 7 years in Hebron, and 33 years in Jerusalem. Solomon took the place of David his father as king, and his rule became very strong. Then Adonijah, son of Haggith, went to visit Bathsheba, mother of Solomon. She asked, "Is your visit friendly?" "Yes, it is. I want to tell you something." "Say it." "You know that it was I who should be king, and that all expected this in Israel. But things happened differently, and my brother became king, because that was the will of the Lord God. Now I will make only one request, and I ask that you grant it." "What do you want?" "Ask King Solomon to give me Abishag, the Shunammite young woman, to be my wife. I know that Solomon will not refuse a request from you. All right, I will speak to the king for you." Then Bathsheba went to speak with the king on behalf of Adonijah. Solomon stood up to receive her and bowed before her. Then he sat on his throne and ordered a throne to be brought for Bathsheba, and she sat at the right hand of the king. Then Bathsheba said, "I have a small request to make to you. Please, do not refuse. Ask my mother. I will not refuse. Give Abishag in marriage to your brother Adonijah." Why is it that you are asking Abishag for Adonijah? You should ask that I give him also the kingdom. After all, Adonijah is my older brother, and the priest Abiathar and Joab are on his side." Then Solomon swore by the Lord God, saying, "May God punish me, and doubly so, if I do not make Adonijah pay with his life for having made this request. The Lord God has established me on the throne of my father David. He fulfilled his promise and gave the kingdom to me and to my descendants. I swear by the living God that Adonijah will die today." Then the king gave order to Benaiah, and he went. He attacked Adonijah and killed him. Then King Solomon said to the priest Abiathar, "Go to your lands in Anathoth. You deserve to die, but I will not have you killed today. Because when you were with my father David, you were in charge of the Ark of the Covenant, and went through the same hardships through which my father went." Then Solomon dismissed Abiathar from the service of priest of God, and thus fulfilled what the Lord God had said in Shiloh concerning the priest, Eli and his descendants. Joab heard what happened. He had sided with Adonijah, but had not sided with Absalom. Then he fled to the tent of the presence of the Lord God, and held on to the horns of the altar. They told King Solomon that Joab had fled to the tent and was beside the altar. Then he sent a messenger to ask Joab why he had fled to the altar. Joab replied that he had fled to the Lord God, because he was afraid of Solomon. Then Solomon ordered Benaiah to go kill Joab. Benaiah went to the tent of God and said to Joab, "The king ordered you to come out." "No, I will not go out. I will die here." Then Benaiah returned and told the king what Joab had said. Then Solomon ordered, "Do what he said, kill him and bury him. Thus neither I nor the descendants of my father David will be considered guilty anymore for what Joab did when he killed innocent men. The Lord God will punish Joab for the murders he committed without the knowledge of my father David. Without my father knowing, Joab killed 2 men who were innocent and who were better than he: Abner, commander of the army of Israel, and Amasa, commander of the army of Judah. The punishment for the murder of these 2 men will fall forever on Joab and on his descendants. But the Lord will always give prosperity to the descendants of David, who are kings after him." Then Benaiah went to the tent of God and killed Joab. He was buried in his property in the open field. The king put Benaiah as commander of the army in place of Joab, and placed the priest Zadok in place of Abiathar. Then King Solomon had Shimei brought and said, "Make a house for yourself here in Jerusalem. Stay living in it, and do not leave the city. And know that on the day you go out and cross the Kidron Valley, you will be killed, and the guilt will be yours alone." "All right, O king, I promise to do what you are commanding." And he stayed living in Jerusalem for a long time. It happened that 3 years later, 2 slaves of Shimei fled and sought refuge with the governor of the city of Gath, who was Achish, son of Masash. Shimei heard of it. So he saddled his donkey and went to Gath to speak with Achish in order to look for his slaves. He found them and brought them back home. When Solomon heard what Shimei had done, he had him brought and said, "I made you swear in the name of the Lord that you would not leave Jerusalem. I'd have warned you that if you did so, you would certainly die. You agreed to this and said you would obey me. Then why did you break your oath made in the name of the Lord and disobey my order? You know very well all the evil you did to David, my father. The Lord God will make your wickedness fall upon yourself. But he will bless me and make the kingdom of David secure forever." Then the king gave order to Benaiah, and he went, attacked Shimei, and killed him. Thus Solomon completely controlled the situation of his rule.